The Pitt Panthers fall apart down the stretch as West Virginia destroys the Panthers in Morgantown. Bye, Panthers. Go on home.
You are Locked On West Virginia, your daily podcast on the West Virginia Mountaineers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, guys? Welcome back in. My name is Mountaineer Paul. I am your host. Welcome back into a backyard brawl edition of the Locked On West Virginia show. Guys, what a performance by this team. I'm so excited to get into this episode. Going to be brought to you by our friends at FanDuel right now. With FanDuel, $5 will make you holla. If your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets used across the app. Download FanDuel today to get started. And thanks for making Locked On West Virginia your first listen and for being a part of the Locked On Podcast Network, where we talk about your team, the Mountaineers, every single day. Troy should be on here from Mountaineer Moment here just shortly, so he should join the stream at some point about halfway through the show. But, man, what a performance by this team. I really wasn't expecting this game to go that way. I thought it'd be a close game. I wasn't sure. So many things to get to, so many talking points to get to. Where do you start? Obviously, Harlan Obioha totally redeemed himself from a rough performance in the game versus, was it Campbell? One of the first few games he didn't even shoot, it looked like. This team is playing elite defense right now. Obviously, they said the stat at the end of the game, 27 straight games with a team under 60 points. You're going to win a lot of games doing that. You hold Pitt to 49 points. You hold every single player on their team to well below their season averages, including Cummings with 7. This Pitt team couldn't even hold the same floor with West Virginia tonight. West Virginia looked clearly to be the better team in the paint. They looked to be the better team at the guard spots, and they looked to be the better team on the wings. Pitt has a couple of players that I would love to have. You know, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I wouldn't love to have Witherspoon, for instance, the kid had 11, the freshman. But, I mean, overall, West Virginia better at almost every spot in this game. Obviously, Harlan Obioha is the MVP of this game. But I have to be honest, Jasper Floyd right there with him. 13 points, 4 of 8 field goals, 1 for 1 from 3, 4 or 5 from the three-point line, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 turnovers, 3 steals. Incredible performance by a kid that, to be honest, was overlooked in the portal by a lot of people. I don't think, he was always going to follow Ross Hodge anyway. But I mean, it wasn't like there was some big time school trying to yank him away from us. And I am so glad we have him. Anytime, and I see a few people saying it was ugly. Anytime you play defense like this, it's the reason that Bob Huggins teams were similar to this. You may as well just get used to it. Anytime you require this much effort on defense, it affects your offense. You're going to play a little worse on offense when you put that much energy into defense. But watch what Ross Hodge has done to mitigate that is he's surrounded this team with good shooters so that you can make up for the lack of it. And if you have an inside presence like Obioha that does what he did tonight, 19 points. I don't care. It says 8 for 9 shooting. The one shot that he missed was a block. It wasn't even an actual miss. He was perfect from the floor tonight. He was 8 for 8 before he got up. It was almost like a jump ball where they had their hand on the ball. Like he didn't even really get the shot up. So I consider he went perfect from the field tonight. 3 or 4 from the free throw line, 6 rebounds, 1 really nice assist. He had 2 assists on the game, only 1 turnover, and 2 blocks, which are amazing. Offensive rebounds, he had 1. Brendan Lorient had an offensive rebound. Brendan Lorient had a nice second half, DJ Thomas, the freshman, continues to be just a sensation. What a performance by him as well in the first half when we really needed him to step up. He stepped up big time in the first half. Guys, this basketball team is not whole right now. We're going to talk about that here in a minute. But this team is playing incredible basketball at the right time already. You know, I said it last year, you hope you don't peak too early. I don't think we are here. I still think we have a long way to go. If you look at Trey Eaglestaff, I still say he's going to get better. I know a lot of people are down on what he's done so far, but he's part of this defense that's playing really well right now. So I think Trey Eaglestaff has to be commended for his defense right now. He was 1 for 6 from the floor with 3 points. I get that 100%, guys. It was not great from him tonight. He draws so much attention that it allows a lot of other things to happen, right? That's kind of the situation with him. If you look at what a guy like Amir Jenkins did tonight on defense, he was involved in a ton of different plays where he was on defense. So I love Amir Jenkins and the energy he brought to this. West Virginia led it by as many as 24 points in this game. You had 21 points off of turnovers in this game. That's what won you the football or the basketball game. The football game. That's what won you the basketball game. 21 points off turnovers to Pitt's only 12 points off turnover, or 8 points off turnovers. So just an incredible number there. West Virginia dominates points in the paint, 32-20. That's also where West Virginia won the game. If you asked me to put on a board where West Virginia won this game, I would say a couple different things. Number one, on defense, obviously, that's very obvious. Not only did they play very good defense and staying connected and on a string, but they also protected the paint with a pack line style defense that Ross Hodge runs, which is very inside out. You guard inside and you work your way out, right? And that's kind of the way it is. You filters everything out. And so, it was very, very good. Obviously you won the paint battle on offense, which was enormous. To win the paint battle on offense for this team is a big deal, considering two of your best paint guys weren't even in the game, guys. I mean, can we consider for a second that our best two paint guys wasn't even in the game yet? So there is so much to be excited about, considering Pitt was supposed to be a pretty good team coming into this. Are they an elite team? No, they're not. We'll face better teams every night in the Big 12, I think. But they have good guards. And I think that our guards were tested tonight, and we really passed this thing with flying colors in so many different ways. Other stats of the night, the fouls were definitely different. If you look at some of the fouls, let me get to the box score here. Let's see. Team stats. Okay. West Virginia had 11 fouls. Pitt had 16, guys. So don't let the Pitt fans tell you that we had so many more fouls than they did. We did not. It was 5 fouls more. So I don't consider that a lot. So to me, this game was pretty fairly called for the most part. There were 1 or 2 fouls that I understand why Pitt was upset about. But for the most part, this West Virginia team played really well. Let's go to break. We'll talk more about this game. We got more players to come. It's going to make this team even more difficult to deal with. We got to talk about that next. And this episode of Locked On West Virginia is going to be brought to you by our friends at DoorDash. Right now with DoorDash, guys, it's a simple thing. When it comes to them, right now, I got to be honest, they are doing a huge thing when it comes to the players of the week. And if you haven't seen that, we'll explain it right here. So when DoorDash is selecting their players of the week, they do a couple things. Number one, they make sure you find out who the MVP is, who delivered, right? Well, just like you can win every Saturday with DoorDash Streaks, saving more every time you order, these players delivered when it mattered most. Let's break it down. For West Virginia, we got to say Harlan Obioha delivered in a big way. He was perfect from the field for the most part in this game. When the pressure was on, he came through, no hesitation, no delay. And if you've been watching week after week, this performance wasn't a fluke. Harlan Obioha is on a streak. And just like Harlan Obioha is on a streak for West Virginia, DoorDash delivers your Saturdays with DoorDash Streaks. You save every Saturday you order, stack it up all season, and you can save up to $250, including 100 DoorDash credits. Order that Saturday. Keep the streak alive. Fuel your game day. Powered by DoorDash. Promo code through 1118. All right, back. We're back in segment 2. Obviously, I am going to cracketh a doeth, as anybody would in this situation. Guys, West Virginia got Pitt to fall into technicals mode. Like, that's what they were doing for Sparks in this game. I was very impressed with that. Totally honest. I was very impressed with the technicals that West Virginia drew out of them. They were so frustrated. It was so awesome to watch, really. I enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see what other teams this West Virginia team can frustrate this year with this defense. So what's crazy is Chance Moore, probably one of the better defenders on the team, certainly one of the top 2 rebounders on the team, at least on paper, has not played yet. And he's only got 1 game to go, I think. 1 or 2. How many games have we played? We're 4-0. Yeah, so he's got 1 game left until he's available. 3-point guy, can dribble it, can score in the paint. Now, I do worry about DJ Thomas and his development a little bit, because I think DJ Thomas is really playing well. I think what DJ Thomas has been for us is what Chance Moore will be for us. He's a more experienced version of that. He's also not quite as big, but I think now you've got an extra guy that you can throw in there. Let's say if Chance Moore's struggling or whatever, you can try DJ Thomas, or if there's a guy that you feel like, it just adds another big. And then obviously Jackson is another kid. We know that he's going to be a really good player for us as well. So there's obviously a lot of still to come for this team. So I don't know. One part of me worries a little bit, the chemistry. Could it be messed up a little bit, right? When these guys come back, it's a worry. I think it's a fair worry. But Jackson Fields has got to come back, because if there's ever a game where Harlan Obioha gets in any kind of foul trouble, we're going to have him. He's nowhere near the inside force that Harlan is, but he's a very good defender and a good rebounder. So, we can use him, and he's really good around the rim. He can shoot it as well. He's a different style. So, and then we can move Lorian in as well, who, by the way, had another incredible game today as well, him in his own right, just on defense. How about the chase down blocks? I mean, this is a guy that really plays under control, really played well for us tonight. I'm so proud of this team, and it feels so damn good to send Pitt home with a dominating loss like that. Think about this, guys. West Virginia 7 for 24 from 3. We still haven't had a 3-point game yet like we thought we would have coming into this year. So what's going to happen when this team starts shooting better? I think they're going to. I think at least a little bit better than they have been. I don't think we're going to be an elite 3-point shooting team now that I've watched us. But I really can't say until all the pieces are in place, because it just will change so much, especially since guys like Chance Moore can really drive to the rim a little bit more better. Kind of like how you saw tonight with DJ Thomas, how he was able to get the rim as a bigger guy. That's similar to what Chance Moore can do as well, although a little bit smaller of a guy. I think he's 6'6". I'd say that DJ's probably 6'7" or 6'8". But, yeah, they both do a similar type thing. But Chance Moore's a better shooter. So it's going to be fun to see. You might also consider that Trey Eaglestaff will be playing a little less if he can't, pick things up a little bit offensively at times. I think they're going to ride with him until he gets caught up and starts scoring, because he can. He really truly can. I still believe that. I'm not giving up on him at all. I know for sure he's not going to score 18 a game, but do I think he's a guy that can, by the end of the year, be giving us 10 to 12, 13 points a game? I do. So I do think Trey Eaglestaff will be a guy that comes along at some point, especially if Harlan Obioha continues to play in the paint like he did. They're going to have to, because it's pick your poison. And right on time. Here we go, Troy.
Right on time, baby. Let's go.
Did something happen today?
Are you kidding me?
The West Virginia play Arizona State this week. Is that why you're here?
Oh, my goodness, dude. Let's go. How about that win?
Yeah, so I've made all the points a guy can make. I'd love to get your perspective on this game. Obviously, defense wins. Give me your positives. Just pretend like I'm not even here.
I will. No, I just thought, overall, start to finish, I mean, there was only one little lull that you didn't like, right? When Pitt cut it to like 10 in that second half.
But that's going to happen.
It's going to happen. Other than that, it was just really, really solid. I think, I said after the game against Lehigh that first half we put together was the most complete we've looked. And then you follow that up, and it was a measuring stick game. You have an opportunity to go against another power conference opponent with some players on their team. Like, let's not slight them, too much.
And without ours.
Right. Exactly right. And we come out and win by 22. We hold another team in the 40s. It just like you mentioned, defense. It just feels good to play West Virginia defense again. That's the vibe I got from that game. That was intense. Obviously, electric atmosphere. That was phenomenal.
About Harlan Obioha in this game?
Him and DJ Thomas. I mean, holy cow. Yeah, Harlan was a beast. That's exactly what we were looking for.
100% from the field. That long miss doesn't count to me because it was a block.
Yeah.
It was like one of those ones where it's like a tie-up. It wasn't even a shot, really. He never really actually missed a shot tonight.
Right. He got great position.
He looked so comfortable down low tonight.
Yeah, all night.
Just his composure, the positioning, like you said, just everything. It was so good.
I just looked too. He played 31 minutes.
If he can do that, he'll be a first or second team All Big 12. Well, he won't be first.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's going to be tough for him. If he does this, he will be. But I think he could be a second or third team guy in the Big 12.
Yeah,
one of the best bigs in the league for sure. And he hasn't even really shot it, and he can't shoot it. So, what do you think about? Obviously, we'd be remiss. You mentioned Brennan. I don't think you mentioned Brennan Laurent, but the chase down block that he had was insane. But I mean, guys, I don't think people realize, and I got nervous there at the end, but obviously our point guard, Jasper Floyd, what an elite game he played tonight. Steals, controlling the pace and tempo. What did you think he gave us?
Oh, he was great. Exactly right. He controlled the pace, 13.7 assists, 5 boards, 3 steals. He had a couple that were just, unbelievable. Timing and everything.
They were game changers because they were flipping. It's like flipping the field a little bit, right?
Right. You can tell he's just. I mean, we've known that too about him and Belo, that they're obviously comfortable in Ross Hodges' system and game plan and all that. And they just again look to be the leaders. And Jasper, we needed a performance like that. We needed the performance he put forth in game 1 as far as scoring. He knows what the team needs, and we needed him to do exactly what he did tonight. He delivered. Yeah,
that's it.
I'm pumped.
Yeah. The one part of this team that's I'm still not disappointed, just like maybe a little disappointed, I won't lie, is the 3-point shot. I really expected it to be much better than it has been so far. This is a small thing considering how we're playing right now. But I made this point earlier in the game. Did you play basketball in your life, Troy?
Yeah, a little bit. Yep.
Okay. I played ball my whole life, So, almost good enough to play in college, but I wasn't. So, but I mean, I probably could have maybe went D3 or something, maybe. But anyways, sorry, my eyes itching for some reason, allergies, it feels like. But whenever you play for a coach that requires you to play really hard on defense, like there was a reason that Bob Huggins' team scored less than other teams in the Big 12, because you sacrifice some of that offense because your legs and everything. His legs are so big when it comes to scoring the basketball. A lot of times you're getting some rest on the offensive possessions because you're gearing up for the defensive possessions.
Yeah.
And so I think that has this one, not that you can't play good defense and be a good offensive team, but I do think that you sacrifice some offense when you play defense like we do.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think, it's, to me, knowing the scoring potential we have on this team as far as just individuals. Yeah. They're buying into the team defense. They're buying into the culture that Hodge is looking to set. And you win a game against Pitt by 22 points and you don't shoot well. That's an encouraging thing because we know Honor Huff, being at 2 for 8, we know he's going to have better nights than that. We know, and I fully believe Eagle staff's going to get going too. So it's encouraging to win ugly. Like it really is.
He's really having a hard time finding his way.
He is.
You know, he was such an ISO guy.
Yep.
And he was such a usage rate heavy guy, you know, last year at North Dakota, and the quality and caliber of athlete that he went up against every single week or day, it's just different now, you know.
He'll find it.
I kind of wish he'd maybe, you know, shoot it more. Obviously, there are times, and the guy said it on the broadcast, you know, they do a dribble handoff on a screen and the guy goes under. And, you know, Honor Huff is pulling that immediately. And it seems like Trey, he pump fake, took a dribble, then shot it. And it seems like he's just overthinking the game a little bit. I think there's going to be a time where he just starts letting it fly. Like when nobody watched during the Maryland game, he had 6 threes. I do think that he'll come along. Like I said before you came on, I don't think he's going to score 18 or 19 in the game anymore.
Right.
I thought it was possible preseason, but now that I've seen how things are playing out, I think when Chance Moore comes back, he's probably going to cut into Trey's minutes some until he gets going a little bit more. But also it's going to help him because he's going to feel less pressure to have to score. Let's go to break one time here. We'll come back and we'll finish our thoughts on this game here with Troy from Mountaineer Moment. Be right back. And this episode of Locked On West Virginia going to be brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. Right now with FanDuel, the NBA is back, and there's no better place to get in on the action than with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you miss the start of the game or want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. Keeps everything exciting and every game exciting, especially when your team's making that late push. Right now, FanDuel is giving away $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. You can't win if you don't play. Head to FanDuel.com to sign up today and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. We back. It's Troy. Mountaineer Moment.
Yes, sir.
Make sure you check it out, guys. Okay, so you mentioned it. Not a great shooting night for the Mountaineers, but a good rebounding night for the Mountaineers as you out-rebounded Pitt in this game. And it kind of felt like West Virginia was a more dominant than the numbers say on rebounding.
Agreed.
Pitt wasn't crashing the offensive boards at all. They just weren't even trying. Maybe they knew they didn't have a chance to. Maybe they wanted to get back on defense. I'm not sure, but it's not like West Virginia's this big. It's like they're just big, you know, tempo team where they're going to push the pace. But I don't know. Ross Hodge clearly also outcoached Capel tonight, I felt like. And I'll be honest, whenever they went on that run, I was questioning Ross Hodge a little bit with the choices we had in the game because we just were too reliant on Jasper to do anything at that point in time. He knows what he's doing over me, though.
Yeah.
So, all right. So let's do final thoughts here. Obviously, this is a West Virginia team that is, I think this is a fair way to say it, nowhere near what they're capable of being. Obviously, you play a Lafayette team that your matchup predictor has you at 96%, 97% chance to beat next, on the next game. They're 1-3 in the they're in the Patriot League.
Yep.
So that's a game you should win. Obviously, you don't want to count them before they hatch. But then you play Clemson, which will be probably your first really big test because, the way they've been with Brownell, with, Brad, how does he say his last Brownell? I can't ever say it right.
Go for it.
But, so they're going to be a good team. But obviously, beyond this next game, you're going to get Chance back, and then hopefully you're going to hear some things about getting Jackson Fields back. What's your overall gut feeling for this team's ceiling now, or just what do you like? Has the expectation for what you thought they could be raised, or is it about the same, or what?
It's a good question. I don't think that it. I think this at a confidence level, you feel more confident, you feel more encouraged by tonight's performance. Not to say that I'm going to say, all right, well, this team wasn't going to make the tournament. Now they're going to go to the Sweet 16. It's a lock. Nothing like that. But, I had a friend I was watching the game with that doesn't follow college basketball, doesn't follow West Virginia. He was like, well, what's kind of the goal for West Virginia this year based on where, what you've seen or what you know about them? And I said, well, I think a goal would be to make the NCAA tournament. Like, we're still, going after that. That was pregame. And so that doesn't change. But I think there's more optimism that you can do that. There's more optimism that we have a team that could win some games this year and surprise some people in the Big 12. I think, again, especially considering
the broadcast said it.
Yep. There are things that we're banking on this year with the two guys that we're going to get back and with Eagle staff shooting to go up, Honor Huff to start having some crazy games. There's things that you came in expecting that we're not getting yet, and yet we still sit at 4-0 with a 22-point win over Pitt. So that's encouraging.
Maybe it's just, and that's another thing to your point on this. Maybe it's just going to look different than we thought and have to adjust our expectations, not in a bad way.
Right.
Maybe it's going to be winning ugly this year. And, and,
right. And look at the box score too. Like Honor Huff and Jasper, it was a gang rebounding night. They each had 5 boards.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that.
Obioha had 6. Lorient only had 3, which again, because there's going to be nights probably where we're going to need a Brennan double. Tonight just wasn't one of those nights. So I think, the good teams, you say it across every sport, the good teams find different ways to win.
That's right. That's absolutely right. I don't want to leave out DJ Thomas, even though you mentioned him briefly. He's been a godsend as a freshman.
Yeah.
And then obviously, do you wonder about him and his growth being stunted with Chance and company coming in? Or do you think that's an overreach to say?
I don't think it's an overreach. There's, we know the depth of this team. You're going to be fighting for minutes. And the good thing is, or blessing in disguise, if you can say it like that, is that, with those two guys sitting out, DJ Thomas has had an opportunity, and obviously he has earned future minutes. Now that's up to us. It's up to Ross Hodge to figure out how it's going to work, spreading it around. But
it's not easy.
When those guys come back, he still deserves a spot on the floor. There's no doubt.
I agree, man. I agree. And that's going to be exciting because he's such a great piece in this rotation right now.
Yeah.
When he gets it, he's going to be a very good player.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be a very good player, guys. I really think, especially if DJ Thomas gets his jump shot together, look out. Now you're talking about a real impact player. He actually kind of does remind me of not Amari, but Amani Hansberry just a little bit. He can't shoot it as well as Amani yet, but they're similar players, kind of little, maybe just I don't know. DJ, they've got him listed at 6'6". He's not 6'6" though. He's more like 6'8". I don't know. Did you see them say Amani Hansberry is one of the best bigs in the country right now on the broadcast? He had 15 and 10. He's averaging 15 and 10 right now.
Good for him.
So we just talked about him last time. He'd been nice to keep around.
Good for him.
Yeah, good for him. I like Amani too. He played hard for us last year.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So I think we've said all that can be said about this. Think about this. You've had Brennan Lorient go for 26 in a game.
Mm-hmm.
You've had Jasper Floyd go for 25 in a game. Now you've got Harlan Obioha go for 19 in a game.
Yep.
I didn't say Honor Huff or Trey Eaglestaff there.
Right.
Like if you'd have told me before the year started, out of your first 4 games, your leading scorers are going to be Lorient 26, Jasper 25, and Obioha 19.
Yeah, Huff had 23, I think, against Campbell.
Yes. Yeah, but it was like on a 4-14 night.
Right.
It was all at the line. But yeah, you're right. He did. It wasn't like you would expect it to be, though, I guess.
Correct.
Is what I'm saying.
I'm with you.
It's not like he made 7 or 8 threes or, so
yeah.
That's kind of what I'm waiting on, one of those performances, and he'll have one. He's had timely threes when we've needed them.
Yeah.
So, we can at least count on that from him for now. And he's played better defense than I thought he would.
Yep.
But he gets bodied up at times. There's just, some – that's not – but, you'll take it because of the threat he is. Ugasic, by the way, that 3 that he shot and made was so pretty. That sound it made is like they had a microphone right on the net. But, he's another guy. Huh?
You know who he reminds me of?
Who?
Lamont West. What do you think
Lamont
about that?
West.
You see that?
He was a lefty, but yeah, I do.
No, that was Wesley Harris.
I'm
Lamont was
thinking
the
of a
guy-
different West.
You're thinking of Wesley Harris,
Wesley Harris, yeah.
right? Probably.
Yeah. Or
Lamont West, man.
I'm thinking of the Lamont that played for the Cavs. What was his name? The one that's all strung out now.
Delonte West.
Delonte West.
Yeah. Oh man.
You know what's crazy? Gosh, I'll tell a Paul story before we get off here. For those context wise, there was a time when I was not in recovery. I'm in recovery 6 years clean now. And one time I was in Reading, Pennsylvania, and I got in some trouble. That's where Delonte West lives. And obviously whenever I got out of trouble and released, it was only a couple days later. Long story short is I was doing door-to-door sales, and the neighborhood called the police, and they got me for soliciting. I didn't know we didn't. The place I was working for told us we had permits, and we didn't. It was a whole big thing. So you have to have permit to solicit. I didn't know that. So when I got out, I ran into Delonte West, who was totally strung out when I ran into him. It was the craziest thing ever. I mean, he's huge too. And it's like intimidating because he would go up to people and like ask for money and stuff, and they knew who he was. He's like 6'9" or 6'10". It's crazy looking. Anyways, that's a Paul story.
Delonte West. No, he's a guard.
He's huge, dude. He's like 6'5", 6'6".
No. He's like 6'3".
No, not maybe. Delonte West. It's not Delonte West. It's the other guy that was on that Cavs team.
Delonte West is the guy that's the drugs and everything. I don't know.
You know.
Not LeBron James. I know that. Huh.
Yeah, he's 6'4". My bad. But I mean, to me, he looks huge.
Yeah.
So he walks up on people. To me, he looked really big, at the time. So, but yeah, either way, it was weird to see him on the streets. So, you know what I mean? And he had this afro that was way out. Like it was.
Yep. It's crazy what happened to him, man.
Yeah.
Sad.
Anyways, I appreciate you guys so much for being here. Val, nice to see you in here. They found your stolen car in Reading. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. All right, so I guess looking forward, this Mountaineer team obviously has a lot to play for as far as the next few games. If you look at the next 3 games for West Virginia, we talked about it. You've got Lafayette, which is a team you should win on ESPN+. You finally get a game on ESPN2 against Clemson. And that's going to be an interesting game, obviously. And then Mercyhurst. You got Coppin State, then you finally get Wake Forest. So, there are a bunch of winnable games coming up. I mean, the only one you could perceivably lose to is Clemson over the next 4 or 5 until you get to Wake Forest. Then you got Little Rock. Ohio State is going to be an interesting one. Very interesting game. So the Suckeyes, man. As of right now, the matchup predictor has the Buckeyes at a 53% chance to win that one. So any other thoughts on this team and this win?
Just keep stacking wins. This one's obviously an emotional one because it comes against Pitt, and it feels really, really good to do it in the manner that they did. I just keep stacking wins, keep getting better. I mentioned a few minutes ago, you see improvement from game 2 to game 3 with that first half against Lehigh, especially. And this was an improved team tonight. And if that's just stemming from, okay, this is a whole new unit getting comfortable, playing together, let's keep doing it. And let's keep seeing that progress.
Agreed. Those asking in the comments, I'm not quite 6'4". I tend to exaggerate my height, but I'm looking forward to just this team getting better and better. I think they're going to be really tough to beat, especially once this Hodge era really gets underway. I'm looking forward to seeing this thing grow, over the 100%. Years. But Thank you guys for joining in. I appreciate it so much. It's been a great day. I appreciate you, Troy, for jumping on so short notice again.
Yeah, man.
I meant to ask you earlier today. I just had other videos going on and all
Life.
that. But guys, make sure you like the video, please. Raven, thank you for asking everybody to. Make sure you find Mountaineer Moment. And then College Sports Insiders, obviously. We probably need to do a show over there at some point.
Yeah,
and we will see you guys in the next one here. Locked on West Virginia, Mountaineer Moment. Thank you guys so much. Also, Locked on Big 12. Make sure for your second listen. And we'll see you guys later on the flip side as West Virginia pulls off an amazing win tonight against the Pitt Panthers. So excited to see that win, 71-49. We'll see you guys on the next one. Have a great rest of your evening. Don't forget to cue those country roads and ESP.